Hey, perfect students, English perfect students. Welcome to January 2023 online lessons with the perfect tutor. So, we are now going to look at major topics. So I want you to pay attention. Major topics. In this video, we are going to start by looking at article writing. From there, I will look at speech report. All these topics are the major topics. These are the major topics of English that we talk about. We are going to start with an article. This one is very simple. Article writing. So we can't just start writing something that we don't know. We have to know what an article is. So an article is a piece of writing. This piece of writing is written by an individual. An individual, I mean any person. Even you as you are there, you can write an article. So this individual writes an article on a subject matter of common interest. What do I mean a subject matter of common interest? Your subject or your topic, what you are writing about, should concern the interest of other people in the society or in the country. You should not write about something that only concerns you. Write about something that concerns the people. For example, you write about elections. You write about leakages. You write about early marriages. You write about abortions. Write about something that concerns all the people. That is what we mean by a subject matter of common interest. So these articles are contributed to a journal or a newspaper. It's like you want to communicate to the public. There is information that you want to give to the public. Now you want to use the newspaper as the mode of communication. As the mode of what communication? So I hope you now know what an article is. Simply a piece of writing. You write, you take it to the newspaper or a magazine. Then they'll print it out together with some other things that they have put in that magazine or newspaper. So there are four main types of articles that we have. Let me make this clear. There are many articles. There are many articles, not many, many. There are many types of articles, but there are four many types of articles. There are many types of articles, but there are four main types of articles. The main types or the major types are news article, feature article, editorial article, and the letter to the editor. However, only two of these articles are examined. Only two types of articles come during the exam. By that I mean these are the only two articles that are in your syllabus. So we don't teach things which are not in your syllabus. One is the feature article and the letter to the editor. Two articles. So we are going to start with the letter to the editor. Great. Letter to the editor. So a letter to the editor is an article written by members of the public contributed to a newspaper or journal. So the letter should be addressed to the editor. The editor is that person who edits a magazine or a journal or a newspaper. So being an official letter, the letter to the editor being an official letter, it should contain two addresses. Let me simply say, it should carry the format of an application letter or a business letter. If you have written an application letter before, that format is the one you use for the letter to the editor because it is an official letter as well. So it should contain two addresses, salutation, and title, which is called the reference. So let us quickly look at the format of this letter to the editor, the format. How do you write the letter to the editor, the article? 20 marks in the exam, you know? You don't have to miss 20 marks. You're already writing your exam out of 8 if you lose the 20 marks. So you have to be very, very, very careful here. The first thing that you write is the sender's address. You know, this type of composition is very simple. Why? The address itself gives you 3 marks. And imagine you are going to write 2 addresses. 6 marks already. You haven't even started writing the composition. Just by writing the addresses, you already have marks. So pay attention here. The first thing that we write is the sender's address, the address of the person who is writing this article. So this address is written on the top right and should slant. In short, write it the same way we were writing the address for the informal letter, because we have done informal letter. It should be written on the top right here. If this is your page, then the sender's address should be written on the top right. It should slant, meaning it should slant like that. If you start your first sentence like that, the second sentence should start from here, the other one like that. Then you also have to punctuate it. You also have to punctuate the address. Comma, comma, then you put a full stop. Don't worry, I'll give you examples. After the address, you write the date. Please, the date is not part of the address. The date is on its own. That's why we skip a line and write the date in a straight line. In straight line with the first letter of the what? The address. So in short, write the address of the sender the same way we are writing the address of the sender for the informal letter. After you write the sender's address, you write the receiver's address. Now, receiver's address must be written on the bottom left, and should not slant. Bottom left. So this is the top right where you write your sender's address, your address. But bottom left, it is here. So this is where you write the address of the receiver. The address of the receiver. The address of the receiver should always start with the statement, the editor. This statement, you have to put the editor. The editor. Then you put a comma. Now this should be here. This should be here. The editor, it's just that there are things here. The editor. Then you put the name of the magazine. For example, Times of Zambia. Comma. Then you put the district, Lusaka. Full stop. If there is the box, you put the editor. Times of Zambia, P.O. Box 320111, comma, Lusaka, full stop. Chingola, full stop. So I'm going to give you an example of this. Don't worry, here I'm just explaining. So after the receiver's address, you write the salutation. Salutation must always be flashed with the imaginary line, meaning you don't have to leave a space between that line you see on your left side of the page. You don't have to leave a space between it and the first letter of your salutation. That's what I mean. So salutation should always read as Dear Editor, because we do not know the name of this person who will be actually editing that magazine or newspaper. So we normally say Dear Editor. That's the salutation. From the salutation, you write the reference. This is the subject matter of common interest. What are you writing about? That is the reference. So the reference must be indented. If you write it in small letters, underline. You write it in capital letters, you're not supposed to underline. From there, you go to the introduction. So the introduction highlights the aim of your letter. Why are you writing this letter? So this letter is formal. We don't greet. Greetings to you. How are you, editor? No. You simply start using phrases like, will you allow me space in the newspaper to add my voice on this or on this or on the matter? So here, this means that you can use this or the. On the matter, you are going to add the matter here. Spiritual matters or abortions of great concern, you add the matter here. The other one, I would like to air my views on the controversial question of examination leakages in Zambian schools. The other one, allow me to express my concern through your paper over this topic, or on this controversial topic of early marriages. So This is how you have to start your first paragraph of your introduction. The first paragraph of your letter, the letter to the editor. From there, you go to the main body. So in the introduction, you simply talk about what you're writing about. Simple. The main body, you express your concerns now. You explain your views. Are you educating or you are warning the public? Communicate now. That is in the main body. Conclusion. The conclusion of your letter should be an enforcement of the points raised in the main body. So, in the conclusion, you have to give future action. What do you think must be done? You may use the following phrases, or any phrase that is similar to this. Is not limited. In view of what I have written above, I suggest we should do this and this to keep early marriages. Early marriages. In the light of the foregoing observation, I wish dash. With these concerns or pieces of advice, I hope to. So you have to cement on what you have written in your main body. That is the function, or that is the importance of your conclusion. You give future action. You use these phrases to start. We have even made it simple for you. We have given you phrases to use when starting your conclusion. So from the conclusion, you now write the what? The farewell. The farewell. Yours faithfully, always it's yours faithfully for the letter to the editor. You put a comma, signature, full stop. Write your name in capital letters, the full names in capital letters, and put a full stop. You are done. Just to summarize, the first thing that you write is the sender's address. 2, you write the receiver's address, date, you write the salutation. From the salutation, you write the reference. From the reference, you go to the what? The introduction. The introduction. What do you write in the introduction? Subject matter of common interest. What are you writing about? Use phrases like, allow me space in your magazine to express my sentiments over this controversial topic of early marriages, murder, whatever you're writing about. In the main body, you explain your views now in detail. Explain. Are you educating the public? Are you warning them? Communicate to them. In the conclusion, you cement now, you wrap up. Whatever you've written in the main body must be wrapped up in the what? In the conclusion. You can also give future action. Then from the conclusion, you write the farewell. Yours faithfully, you put your signature, name in capital letters. You are done with the letter to the editor. Next, we are going to look at the feature article, though it's very simple. And from there, we'll proceed to speech. See you in the next video. You're perfect 2 times the cube at CJ.